Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. So I'm a bit obsessed now with Black Mirror Bandersnatch, and I've tried to watch it back for a second time. I got halfway through and I realised the moral of this story is no free will. Now, if you can remember watching it, when Stefan says he's figured out how he's going to do the game and he wants to present an illusion of free will when kind of people are playing the game and making decisions, but actually the game is designed for there to be no free will. Now, I think this is literally right. Us being told no matter what option you choose, it doesn't matter. Because if you think about it, right, every time you make a decision, it leads you back. If you choose an option it doesn't like, it keeps on making you go back. So when I make Stefan jump off the balcony, obviously the story's over, right? So then I have to make Colin jump over, right? So the story can continue. Now, what I did with my second viewing was I tried to avoid Stefan talking about his mother with the psychiatrist. And as far as I tried to go, the more they tried to make me go back for Stefan to talk about his mother. For me, this shows that it's very interesting because I love the interactive aspect of it. But ultimately, you can't really change the destiny of this character. You can't. There's like certain different little endings, but really they're kind of unfinished endings, if you like. So it seems to me no matter what you choose, you can't really ultimately decide a different fate for this character. So the first time I watched it, I wanted Stefan to kill his dad and chop up his body. Hey, I've got issues, right? But ultimately, the second time around, I decided for Stefan not to kill his dad. But it ultimately, right, it takes you back to these situations so you can make the choices they want you to choose. And I think it's not because it's rigged. I think it's because what they're trying to tell you is that there's no free will. So if we look at our own lives, because this is a great commentary on real life and the way we live our lives, we think we have free will. We think every decision we make is down to us. We think we are the kings of our own destiny. But is this story, Bandersnatch, trying to tell us that actually no matter what decision we make, we will end up where we're going to end up anyway? Now, I've never really been kind of a believer in destiny and things happen for a reason. I've always thought people who say things happen for a reason are lazy, scared people who don't want to go out there and make decisions for themselves. Because I suppose you could say if you turn left in life, one thing will happen, or if you turn right, another thing will happen. But is there a darker truth that life is a rigged event? And I think this episode of Black Mirror is trying to tell us this through the interactive concept of this episode, of this feature-length movie. So I think it's fascinating. Now, I'm going to try and watch it a few more times and make some odd, weird decisions. But I feel there's no way you can cheat it. There's no way you can give for example, you can't give Stefan a happy ending. You can't. Whatever you do, I think it's not going to end well for him. But then Black Mirror doesn't really have happy endings. That's not really the idea of Black Mirror. Now, I love Black Mirror because it reminds me of Tales of the Unexpected, a similar type of thing we used to watch as kids in the 80s and the late 70s, or The Twilight Zone, or other things we used to have in the 80s, very similar type concepts. But Black Mirror, I think, is the best type of thing from this concept. But I definitely think the moral of this story is no free will. And I think that's a really, really intellectually interesting concept to tell people. No matter whatever decision you make, we're going to take you back to lead you where we want to lead you. And I think ultimately this is what this interactive episode of Black Mirror says, that you don't have any free will. No matter what decision you make, it's still going to end the same way. So what do you think, everyone? Am I right? Does it matter what decisions we make? within the interactive fertility of this film, it's still going to end up the same way, really, for Stefan. And is that the same for real life? Is there no free will?